Hey guys, what's up? My name's Jonathan Reich. I'm a licensed CPA in the state of Louisiana. Normally, I talk about things related to like small business, softwares, how to run your business, how to save time, how to save money, different tools that are out there. It's in the realm of what I do because I'm a CPA and I serve the public. Sometimes I'll also kind of dabble in, recommendations for personal finance and things like that. And that's kind of what the topic of today's video is. So this one's a little bit more niche, but it's important to me because I have two dogs, a cat, and probably about a couple $1,000s worth of exotic fish, which are a little bit more difficult to insure, but we'll talk about that later. So the topic of today's video is best pet insurance comparison tools. So like if I want to get insurance on my dog or cat, they need an emergency vet visit. How do I find out I'm getting good coverage? And this is important to me because I own two miniature Dachshunds. And for those of you out of the know, miniature Dachshunds are weenie dogs. They're long and they typically have bad back problems, specifically called IVDD. And I've had an instance in the past where I've owned another dog that was a miniature Dachshund, and she lost the ability to walk. Her back leg, she became paralyzed. It happens with that breed, and I have two of them now, and it is a real risk. And we have had some scares when it comes to my dog Toby's ability to walk and play, and even use the bathroom and stuff like that. So it's an expensive vet bill. If you go to the vet and the vet says he needs spine surgery, it may or may not work, and it's $8,000. This was a real conversation that I had with the vet back in May of 2025. We didn't know what to do. Luckily, we were blessed enough that we were able to kind of train him and get him back on his feet. No pun intended. And so he's living his best life. He's actually right outside the camera. He's on the couch, just chilling, taking a nap. So I didn't have pet insurance at the time. I do now. And in order to shop for pet insurance, you're going to want things like you need to know what kind of coverage you have. Is it clear? What exclusions are there? What's the cost? What's the reimbursement rates, pricing, transparency, all kinds of things. And so there's a couple different sites out there that I want to talk about today. They all run in a similar fashion, but some shop your pet insurance better than others. So the first one I want to talk about is Best Money. So you can go on Google and type in pet insurance comparison sites. You'll get some of these hits. Best Money is on the leading homepage for that. We're also going to talk Money Supermarket, Pet Insurance Experts, but I like Best Money because, well, they don't do just pet insurance, of course. They have a slew of different offerings, but you can see here they just pretty much give it to you right off the get-go. They're going to tell you exactly, hey, this is what's covered, up to 90% reimbursement, or this is how much it's going to cost. This is what this is kind of prior ratings, things like that, and there's no shortage of offerings, so that's good. Now, with these sites, guys, a lot of these make money by bringing you these different options, and then the lenders pay those sites. So if the lender makes a match and you sign up for Spot or WAG or ASPCA through Best Money or through Money Supermarket, they get a commission. That's how they all make money. I want to be transparent with that. I'm not a CFE, certified financial expert, certified financial planner, or anything like that. It's just how these sites work. They're all like that. So you're going to want to pick a site that's going to be able to give you the most clarity. That's going to explain, what are the rates, what are the prices. So like if we click on Spot, for instance, let's see if I can refresh. There we go. You can type in, okay, I've got dog, cat, where I live, the type, and then it'll generate a quote. And so I like that it's brief, it's to the point. You have different options. And it's going to tell you exactly what it's going to cost. So Best Money is really good for that. They also have different options, everything money under the sun, mortgage, consolidation loans. You can get a credit card, online bank. You can do it all right here. You can type that into Google or Bing or Copilot, whatever you're using nowadays. It's the same deal. They all work the same. They're all going to be basically, they're going to get money for making that connection. So same for Money Supermarket. So they're similar to Best Money, but I don't like the layout as much. There's a lot of, I guess, educational material, and I'm always excited for someone to be educated regarding the decision that they're making, especially when money is involved. But if I know I need pet insurance because, well, I've got a weenie dog with a broken back, for instance, I'm not interested in learning about your article. Show me what we've got. Show me what we can work with. So you can click on dog insurance. Why do I need it? Is it worth it? Average cost, stuff like that. I'm still having to scroll through before I can find a provider, flip through it. So, they're going to take that stance where it's better to educate you, but then you're going to need to drill in, answer questions about your dog, and then you'll get to see the types of insurance offerings that they have. So I don't really like putting my data into any website before finding out what I'm going to get. So that's a drawback to me. And their user interface just is not as suave and clean as Best Money. Pet insurance experts. This one is similar. You can see we have ASPCA up here. It's similar in that the layout is clean. It's going to tell you exactly what you want. We like that clarity. We want to know what our reimbursement rate is. We want to know what's covered, what's not. Once again, guys, they make money by just suggesting it, and then you put your information. They make the lead, they make the connection, and then you're able to get your insurance. The site gets a little bit of money, and then the insurance agency will then take that coverage and collect your premium. So kind of everybody wins. The site gets a little, you get insurance coverage, and then the insurance underwriter also makes money off the premium. So not a bad business model. There are worse ways to make a living out there. So this one, I like the layout. It's very similar to Best Money. It's clean. It tells you exactly what you're going to get. I'm just kind of flipping through here to show you how these different sites work. So this one is Pet Insurance Experts, and I've clicked on Lemonade, which we're going to talk about here in a second. It's actually a direct provider, but it's going to have all of those large providers like Spot and ASPCA. And then you can also get pet insurance through some life insurance companies too, like life insurance. MetLife is a life insurance company, but they have riders and subsidiaries that do pet insurance. So pretty neat. Moving right along here, you can kind of see every provider is going to ask for similar information. Is it a cat? Is it a dog? How old are they? What's their weight? Where do you live? Stuff like that. And once you input that, you'll be able to start receiving those quotes for those monthly premiums. So, so far, really happy with Pet Insurance Experts and Best Money. Super Money Market, kind of get in the weeds a little bit. Don't necessarily love that. We got two more that I want to talk about today. So Lemonade is actually, they offer all types of insurance, with pet insurance being one. And so you can see here that they offer renters, homeowners, car, life insurance, and pet insurance. And they're a direct provider, so you can click on check our prices. They're going to ask for the weight, the height, the type of cat. Once again, I don't necessarily love filling out information prior to getting a premium. I want to know about what it's going to cost, and then once I put the information in that is specific to my breed, my type of pet, my dog, then you can kind of narrow that price down. Just because I'm a firm believer that most companies want as much data about you as possible, and I don't really like handing that out. So that's just me, though. You guys may feel differently. But Lemonade can keep everything under one umbrella, but it's not a comparison site. They are the ones actually offering that. So keep that in mind. The last one I want to talk about is Go Compare. They're very similar to some of the other ones on the list, and like Best Money, that they offer car, home, travel, but they also offer like money benefits, for instance, like do you need a mortgage, credit card, loan, checking account. And so they're going to be able to offer pet insurance. You drill in here, get started, and what you'll see is that they're going to ask for all that information, and then they'll shop it around to their different providers. So another drawback of this, if you're not careful, is once you put this in, you input all of your pet's information. You say, hey, I'm interested in pet insurance. Be ready to receive tons of spam. That's another reason that I don't like to necessarily just volunteer that information. I'd rather hop on a site that compares them, like Best Money or Super Money Market, because I don't want to be flooded with spam. I want to go look at the comparisons. Okay, there's 7, 8, 9, 10 providers. Select the one I want, and then put my information into that site. If you're not careful, if you put your information in first and then it's shopped around to those 10 providers as if you entered the information, it's now in the hands of those 10 providers, you're going to get emails and mailers and text messages saying, hey, we saw you need pet insurance. I don't like my phone blowing up. I don't like my mailbox being crammed full of stuff. So Definitely pick your comparison site carefully. I think Best Money does a really good job of that simply because they tell you exactly what you're getting. They tell you about what it's going to cost. They're pretty transparent on their pricing. They're transparent on how they make their money, and then you're not going to get as much spam. So, but definitely, guys, consider getting pet insurance. You don't want to be like me, where you've got a really expensive vet bill staring you in the face, and you're like, do I have to make that hard decision? Can we afford to get this? Like, a lot of people, their pets are their kids. Like mine are my fur babies. I absolutely adore my dogs. Like, I take them everywhere with me. So just go ahead and get it. Don't find yourself in that situation. Use some of these sites to cross shop and see what makes sense for you to get for your household, and learn from my mistakes. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and I'll see y'all on the next video.